Today's business question, obviously with what you do in marketing and SEO,
Yep.
how does one get on the top of Google?
Google Ads increases your clicks.
Yeah.
And SEO ranks off of how people are on your site. One to stay away from, and it's really, I have seen a few moving companies do, is they buy like this, you might get emails about it sometimes, you can buy like 10,000 backlinks for like this much money, but if one of those sites is corrupted, your SEO is going to
Surely you jump on board, be prepared to spend over £2,000 on Google Ads over 3 months, but don't worry, you're going to bring money in along the way, and then it's just going to be a trajectory.
I don't get how removal companies can compete with Pin Local, Really Moving, Compare My Move. How do you compete with them? Because they're spending millions of pounds.
We rank higher than them most of the time.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Business on the Move. Today we are joined by Dom from Removals Plus, who owns a digital marketing agency. He's travelled today from Bristol, and we're looking forward to diving into his business. So thanks for coming.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me. Again, like I said earlier, awesome opportunity for us to jump on this podcast and speak to the moving industry, gain knowledge from both of you guys. You guys have spoken to a lot of people on here. So yeah, like I said, just an awesome opportunity for us.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming. We always start the podcast with a business question, which comes from Rob.
Yep, welcome, Dom, mate. Good to have you on the poddy. Today's business question, obviously with what you do in marketing and SEO, how does one get on the top of Google?
Subjective question. There's a lot of variables to it, but I would say honestly the best way forward is, first of all, don't try and do it all yourself. A lot of the time when we've come into positions where people have thrown a lot of money at trying to get to the top of the page, they've tried to do it themselves, or they've used companies in variable different places. They're doing Google Ads over here with one company, SEO over here with another company, this and that. It's better to have one big strategy, everything working in tandem, and then it all just comes together much better. You have short-term and long-term in terms of getting up to the top of Google. If you're going short-term and you need that work instantly, Google Ads is probably the way forward for you. You know, you can get up there much quicker. With Google Ads, getting to the top of Google, of course, Google wants you to spend money. So your budget, you need to have a competitive budget. That's always one of the first things. And then there's loads of things that go on behind that. The keywords you're using, the ad groups you're targeting, the type of moves you want to target, you know, the copy you're using, making sure that you always want to sell your company on being a trusted brand. And then also the page that you're sending people to. With Google Ads, what they'll do is they'll then take all of that information that you've given from the ad and the landing page, your site. They give you an overall quality score. And again, that helps if you're ranking big time. That's always the short-term way. And then what I always recommend doing is in the long term, in the background, is working on that SEO, organically getting yourself up. And then you'll find yourself in a way where maybe your overall impression share on Google Ads is about 40%. So the other 60% of the time you're not showing up because there's actually a lot of search volume. But you can start filling that other 60% with your SEO. Solid stuff, having that holistic strategy together, all working together. And then in the short term, you're at the top of Google, and you know that in 3, 4, 5, 6 months' time, you're also going to be at the top of Google. And then you can even look at turning your Google Ads down. You're going to save yourself money in the long term. But multi-strategy, have a plan, speak to the people that do it for you often. Don't just pay money every month and hope. You need to make sure that you're on top of it, get your reports, speak to the people that are actually doing it, understand what they're doing.
So for someone who hasn't dived into SEO before, how would you start me off?
We have like a roadmap. So the first thing we always do when we're going in to do someone's SEO is you need to know what position you're starting from. It's the same with anything. If you guys go and you're going to go and do a move, you go and quote the house. We need to see your SEO, so we always do an audit, free audit to start off with. We make sure that we understand, you know, what position you're in, what's good. Maybe you've had someone doing it for you before, you're not too sure how things are. We get in there, we do the audit, and then from there we can build your roadmap. Number one thing with SEO in the first month is your site health, making sure that there's no sort of broken pages, broken links, all of your backlinks are strong and not going to any dodgy sites, stuff like that. And then once that's out of the way, that's the foundation. from there onwards, then you can look at sort of like getting more into your keywords that you're using, redesigning pages to improve sort of the user experience, making sure that people are staying on your site, reducing your bounce rate, making sure that people are interacting with your site, and all of that stuff. And then over time, it all starts to come together. Google sees the improvements. They start up in your rankings, you start climbing through, you get much more competitive. It's not, honestly, for 99% of moving companies, it's not a 12-month process. Sometimes it's less than 6, depending on what time you're starting in. I mean, for us, we've managed to see good changeable results in about 2-3 months. It can be done. It's just, now that we have a roadmap, we have a set way of doing it. We're not sort of just bits and pieces. Having that plan is super important, definitely.
Good. So you've set me up. When does the ads come into it? Is that when you've got the site perfected?
Yeah, so with Google Ads.
Yeah,
so with Google Ads, we always also build like a custom landing page for you as just part of the campaign. We need to make sure that this traffic that we're driving to your site is going to a place that people can convert easily. We're going for those higher end moves. So maybe these people have a busy job, a busy lifestyle. They don't want to spend 20-30 minutes trying to navigate your site, figuring out where things are, what to do. We want to get them on your site, put a form in front of them, get your credibility in there, your reviews, basic service stuff, the things you do, and then from there, get them to convert. And landing page makes a massive difference in terms of converting.
Landing page, that is in the front page of your...
Yeah. So a landing page is, the way to describe it is almost like the portal to the rest of your site. So it's part of your website.
Yeah.
From the landing page, you can navigate to anywhere else on the site, but say you just search directly to the site, you can't navigate to the landing page, if that makes sense. The only way to get to the landing page is through the ad.
Okay.
The reason for that is because the landing page is essentially a one-page summary of your website almost, giving people that quick bit of information, getting them engaged, get the conversion. That's sort of the way a landing page is.
So the landing page needs to be a sales page, basically.
Essentially,
to direct the lead into that button or to that content.
And then you've got your analytics and your data at the end of the month to say this is what we've done. This is a question actually, but can you get any data from the telephone button? Because quite a lot of people call, don't they? They go on the website, there's a phone symbol.
Yep.
Phone in the office. Is there any data from that side? Yeah,
so there's a couple of ways. So the first one is you can have a click to call button actually on your Google ad.
Yeah.
Now, if people do that, we can track everything on that call. So the length of time the phone call was, the number that called.
Really?
Yeah. If so, you've searched on Google, moving companies near me, and on that ad, you haven't clicked on the website, there's the call now button. You click that. That's where we have that really in-depth tracking.
Okay.
And then when it comes to, now we're talking on the website, you've got your call now button. What we do is we set up Google Analytics to do your tracking, and then we're able to track if someone clicks that. It's a little bit more subjective, of course. We can't, someone may click it and then decide not to call, or sometimes people, go onto your website on their computer, they see your number, they type it in on their phone. Obviously, we can't track that. But I mean, what we do at the end of the month is we always send like an in-depth report to the people we work with. We go, okay, here are the dates that you had calls. Did you actually receive calls on these days? How did that call go? And then like with the ones we know the numbers and stuff, we go, how was that one? We work really closely with the moving companies we work with to make sure they're getting results.
And what made you choose the removal sector?
It's not really a wishy-washy, like amazing fairy tale story.
Yeah. But you only work for removals,
we only work for moving companies, that's it. So it was finding an industry, the customers the customer value was at a good level, and each customer didn't provide monthly recurring revenue for the moving company. It makes it a bit more challenging for us because it means we can't go, over the last 3 months, we've made you this much and now your recurring revenue has gone up to this. At the start of every month, it's a clean slate. We've made you £0. Let's go out and get you some money. So it pushes us to be better.
Yeah.
And it also means the reward is there for us as well. The customer value is good. If we can bring you a few international jobs a month, I mean, damn, that could be like 30 grand revenue depending on the jobs.
Yeah.
And that could pay for your Google Ads and SEO for a whole year.
Yeah. Or a nice holiday.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a holiday. I got to be honest. Exactly.
What about you, Woz? Do you use SEO for one's removals?
I've got SEO, obviously. No, I've never used a company, and the person I use for my website, she always tells me she's not an SEO wizard, so she doesn't want to tell me that she is, kind of thing. But we rank pretty high on Google.
Yeah. A lot of it is reviews come into it big time as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. Half of it's credibility.
Yeah.
You need to have good credibility. Otherwise, if we're running a campaign or doing SEO for a company that's got their average reviews of 3.5 stars, 3 stars, we could get you to the top of Google. But at the end of the day, people want to see someone that's there on Google. That's the first step.
Yeah.
The second of all, they want to go for someone that has shown that they can do a good job.
Yeah.
And really look after their customers. So credibility is probably a really good reason.
Yeah.
Because you guys have got loads of reviews, like really good reviews.
Yeah.
So
and does it help having a plugin? So we've got Trust Index that feeds through the reviews into the website. Does that class as SEO?
I think so. Having plugins can help with like SEO and stuff like that. And also your plugins, again, making sure that your plugins are nice and tidy. Like on WordPress, for example, you have loads of plugins. Making sure you look after your plugins is so important. That's the sort of thing that affects your site health.
Yeah.
If you've got plugins that are broken or not working and stuff like that, it can bring down your site health, your core web vitals, these sort of things, which is really important. But again, Trust Index is a great widget to use to just showcase your reviews on your site. It's clean, it's tidy, it's pulling them from Google.
I do really like Trust Index. It's something I recommended to quite a lot of removal companies.
Google verified as well, so you know it's real. It looks way better than, say, if you try and write out a review in your own branding. Having Trust Index, it just looks way better.
Yeah, because I think with Trust Index, we've got about 54 reviews on there, but we could do with getting more on the actual Google, because sometimes when you search iMove in Google, there's only a few that come up because they're all on Trust Index.
Yeah.
So would you say Google reviews as well?
Yeah,
would
definitely. I mean,
increase?
Google reviews. Google, you got to look at it from a big perspective. Google is the biggest search engine in the world.
Yeah.
So the place to have your reviews and your site ranking the best is Google. No one talks about making sure your SEO is solid on Bing. So it's
Yahoo.
Yeah, so it's just making sure that you're focusing your efforts in the right areas when it comes to reviews and stuff. I also think that Trustpilot's a really good one as well.
Yeah.
The way that they give you a rating is much more in depth.
Yeah.
It's not just like you get one 5-star review and you're rated 5 stars. You have to get multiple 5-star reviews on a consistent basis to be rated 5 stars. So that's another step of credibility again. And again, Trustpilot is another trusted system for getting reviews and stuff like that. All of this stuff is just going to help your SEO company credibility.
Previously you mentioned backlinks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, backlinks is something that gets mentioned in the WhatsApp group, which you're in as well. Can you explain to me how backlinks work? And if I had a backlink, for instance, I've got logos on my website for estate agents that I work with. So I push a backlink to them effectively. Mm-hmm. If they push one back to me, does that just even the field, or does it help both?
I believe it helps both. Yeah.
Does it?
So, first of all, the way that a backlink works is if you're a trusted site and you're linking to another trusted site, that increases your trust, and that's also going to do that for the other company as well.
Okay.
So it's a really good step. So, one to stay away from, and that's really, I have seen a few moving companies do, is they buy like this. You might get emails about it sometimes. You can buy like 10,000 backlinks for like this much money. But if one of those sites is corrupted, your SEO's in the
Surely Google's cottoned onto this.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're cracking down. They will ban sites if this happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the best way to go out and get backlinks is, like I said, speak to your local estate agents. Yeah. Speak to your local companies that have got a good website and have constant traffic. That's going to help yours.
It's good advice actually with the estate agents. Yeah, do you do that?
Yeah, I do that, and but they haven't reciprocated it. Some of them. So I work with like 22 estate agents, and probably 5 of them have backlinked me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, what about blogs? What about like updating your website regularly? Because you see them blogs, you see them like how to move house 6 weeks, 12 months.
Am I right in thinking? Sorry to interrupt there, but
blogs are. I'd say they're almost. It's almost not even like a blog anymore. I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call the things that we do a blog. I call it more of like a question with a long answer, basically. And the reason that this works well is, for example, a podcast is basically a blog, but you're watching it and listening to it.
Yeah.
Right. Like if this whole podcast didn't exist, you'd probably just write a blog once a week, maybe, or once a month, something like that. Yeah. So the reason that blogs works well, and again, we see this with Google Ads and doing SEO, we're able to cross-compare data. With Google Ads, you can see the search, what people are typing in, search up. You see the search terms, is what it's called. A lot of it is people asking questions.
Okay.
Now, with a Google ad, your copy can't cover every single question in the entire world. So you need to be specific and direct about your copy.
Yeah.
But with SEO and having blogs, if you can then have a blog that says, you know, again, how long in advance should I start preparing for a move? And that's then on, you know, a question on your blog. As long as you index your page correctly and give the titles the right tags, Google go, this company has that page titled, and that's exactly what this person's asked, bang, it straight to the top on that question.
Right, okay, cool.
So what we can do for blogs is pull the data from Google Ads, like what people are searching, and then recommend you build your blogs based on the most common questions that people are asking.
When people are thinking about moving is how much does a house move cost?
Yeah, how much does 3-bed cost? How much does a 2-bed move cost?
Yeah.
How much is extra packing service?
Yeah.
Which of course is not something you can answer really in a blog, is it?
I bet there's an average. I think the average amount for a house move in the UK is £1,200.
Okay. Yeah, well, it obviously varies massively from place to place. Doesn't it? Yeah. Again, we
what
find
average
that.
in the UK?
Yeah, the average house move costs £1,200.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good stat,
Yeah,
mate.
that's
Good
good.
little
Yeah,
stat.
that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You should have saved that for the interesting quote or fact.
I've got loads.
Just,
Loads of facts.
just don't use them all up in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. So Google Ads. Do you guys do Google Ads?
Yeah.
So what do you guys do? Walk me through the marketing.
So we cover, there's 3 main services that we do, really. Google Ads is been the one that we've been doing for the longest, the one that we have the most experience in. Again, being in an industry where the only thing where marketing is moving companies gives you a big advantage. We also do SEO, as we've spoken about already, and then we also do postcard marketing, which is another really good option, a much lower cost option of pushing your brand out there. It's really going to help you build brand awareness, and it's going to get you work. As long as your postcard's designed properly, it's going to get you work.
I like that because from a digital marketing aspect, postcards is a little bit different, isn't it? So I like the fact that you're keeping it old school as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's old school with a modernized twist almost. It's taking, like the postcard, for example, we don't just write on the postcard, oh, hey, we're a moving company, call me on this number. We have, again, pull your reviews from online. It's a custom designed postcard. It's a laminated postcard. That postcard also has a QR code which goes directly to any page on your site that we think is going to convert the best.
Nice.
It's having that digital twist on it almost. Taking some. It's the same with moving. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You've just got to take what someone's doing and do it a little bit better. And that's what's going to allow you to succeed.
What I like about mail is because like marketing's like a big cycle. All the eyes go to email marketing, and then that gets saturated, and then not many people get junk mail anymore. So if you send the junk mails, no one's over there. You know what I mean? Everyone's on the cold emails and stuff.
Exactly.
So I think there's quite a lot to be said about the envelope idea. If it's in what looks like just standard junk mail, it's not getting opened. So what we've started to do, and I was speaking to you off air, we're sending ours and it looks like a birthday card. And then when they open it, it's going to be like, sorry, this isn't a birthday card. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of a straight in.
I've seen them, but so I'll tell you what that sets up for me. That sets up
a bit of disappointment.
It sets up, like, when you watch a YouTube video and it says something, like the thumbnail's that, and you watch it, it's nothing like
clickbait.
It's clickbait.
Yeah.
And I think that's the wrong, like, it might be you tried it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to try it. And then the next one I'm going to try after that is the brown envelope.
What's that
because
for?
if you get a brown envelope, it's generally a final bill.
Yeah, it's important.
Now you're talking,
open it.
like counter tax, counter tax on front of it.
Yeah, and everyone opens the browns, and if you open it, it's not a bill. It's like, oh, thank God.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. You want to trigger emotion.
But you need to try it all, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think,
Steve Bartlett, what's a good little snippet on Steve Bartlett, and he actually employs someone just to fail and try in his business. And he says Booking.com do the same. All the big companies do it. You know what I mean, and that's what it's all about, trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, not trying hard enough if you don't fail.
And I know you're young. You're 21, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got 2 business partners.
Yes.
Yeah, similar age.
Yeah. So we've got business partners Dan and Ollie. They're both like amazing tech guys. They're amazing at what they do.
Yeah.
They're similar age to me, so they are I think 20, 24 and 25, or 25 and 26.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan and Ollie, if I've got that wrong. I do love you guys, I promise.
They're a bit older than you then, yeah?
They are a bit older than me, yeah. So the way I came to meet them was me and Dan went to the same gym, and he was running his own little marketing company. he had all the tech and the bells and whistles and really knew what he was doing, but couldn't get clients because he wasn't great at sales. When I was marketing for gyms a couple of years ago, I was really good at sales, and our fulfillment was decent, but it could have been better. You know, like there was definitely a level to take up. So then we sort of just came together once and we're like, if we bring this together, it could actually be something really good.
Powerful.
Yeah, we did that over the last year, and then we created Removals Plus, and it's been great. You know, it's
the reason I ask that is because you're young, and Google is. You can tell me how often they change, but I'm led to believe that Google changed their algorithms and everything about Google. They're changing so often. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing Google ads for 20 years. They're changing. It's different every month almost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
So
there's
they have to be fully in it, don't you?
Google provides courses online, and they change it every month.
Yeah. The game's changing.
I actually heard that generally, if you're looking for a service, and you type it into Google, you skip past the ads. Generally, some people don't. Obviously, you know, it attracts some people.
Yeah, I don't. You see,
I do. I'm a skip past the ad guy, and I'll click on the top one generally, or the second in. Google have cottoned on to this, so apparently Google get paid more when you click on an ad.
That's how they make money.
So apparently, what they're going to do is put every ad on page 1. Yeah. Because nobody goes to page 2 because we're too lazy.
Yeah.
Have you heard this or not?
I haven't heard about them putting all the ads on page 1.
But would it surprise you?
It would surprise me.
It would?
Yeah, because then it completely, that kills anyone doing SEO. Because that's like saying the highest you're ever going to get to is the top of page 2.
Yeah.
And if you're at the top of page 2, that's no good. 97% of traffic doesn't make it past page 1.
Yeah.
So the best you can do when you're actually running a campaign, a Google campaign, don't make it look like an ad.
Yeah.
Don't say.
It says it though, doesn't it? It says
it does say ad, or it's a sponsor.
Over the years, wasn't there 1, and now there's 5 ads? So they are increasing, aren't they?
Massively,
so probably in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Just that, I think that'll work based purely on the fact that there's just so many people doing ads.
Yeah.
At the moment, the way that Google's structured is normally the maximum that you'll have fill in the top spaces is 4. So you have 2 main stats with Google ads. You've got absolute top of the page rate, which is like number 1. And then you've got top of the page rate, which is top 4. And then beyond that, you're normally towards the bottom of page 1, at the top of page 2, even with the Google ad.
Yeah.
So that's why making sure that your quality score is good and all that stuff.
Definitely. So you've got removal companies in the same area.
Yep.
If one's not doing SEO and one is, are you guys guaranteed to get him higher up? Even though that removal company has been going 15 years, that removal company, new company, been going a year. Could you guys get that new removal company above that 15-year-old solid company?
Yeah, we could, because it becomes so. To get onto, I'd say the main sort of thing you're looking for with SEO is to break into the top 10. That's the big one, because then you're more often than not page 1. And it's worth saying that your rankings aren't solidified. They're always fluxing and changing based on what people are searching and all this stuff. Someone might search moving company and you're number 1. Someone may search removal company and you're number 4. But going back to, could we take a brand new company and get them above the person that's been doing it 15 years? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because every SEO company has a different strategy. Everyone's doing things a little bit differently. And again, our strategy is a strategy only for moving companies, whereas other companies, maybe bigger SEO companies, their strategy is, I'm sure it's a good strategy, but it's to cover like maybe 5 or 6 industries. And it's just, you're going to get to a point where it just doesn't correlate enough with the sort of, and they don't have I still think we're new to the industry. We've only been in it for a year and a half, really. But we still have a lot more knowledge than someone who doesn't touch the industry. We still got a lot more to learn. Yeah. But there's just sort of like levels to the game in terms of you can search up as much as you want or use ChatGPT as much as you want, but sometimes having the knowledge stored away in your head is the best way to go. But
like with the ads and stuff, I don't get how removal companies can compete with Pin Local, Really Moving, Compare My Move. How do you compete with them? Because they're spending millions of pounds.
We rank higher than them most of the time.
Would that be based on keywords then, what people are actually searching?
Keywords, budget, loads of that stuff. And to be honest, like I take a company, for example, that we've worked with and been working for him for just about a year now. When we first began ads with him, he ran the Google ad with us, and he also was getting Compare My Move leads. Never once had the same lead come through Google Ads and Compare My Move. It's a completely different type of customer.
Yeah.
The Compare My Move, and it's a great way to sell, and that's why they do so well, is they say save up to, on average, 80% of your move by using a comparison site. We sell on the trust and the reputation of your company. So you get your price sensitive and your quality sensitive customers. We want the quality sensitive one because normally they're willing to pay a little bit more, which is good for the moving company. It's going to increase your revenue, your margins, and for us it's good because your return on investment from us is much higher. So it's keywords, but they're after a different type of customer, I'd say, compared to what we are.
Makes sense. Great answer.
Do you say if I had an ad running and every click on that ad, does that benefit when I haven't got an ad running, or does that have nothing to do with it?
What do you mean?
So if it counts as a click on an ad, is that helping my website when I turn my ads off? Or is that not even correlated? I imagine it's not correlated.
It's not massively, but again, you could look at it like, say, for example, if we're talking about Google Ads, take Google Ads and SEO and link them together, the way that you rank quicker for SEO is by people going onto your site and Google tracking how they work around on your site. If they engage, it's good. Now, Google Ads increases the amount of clicks you get. So, have a little bit of water. Google Ads increases your clicks. And SEO ranks off of how people are on your site. So the more people you have on your site, the quicker you're going to rank for SEO. So Google Ads turbocharges your SEO. In the long run, say you were running a Google ad and you stopped it today, in 3 months' time, would you still be benefiting from it? Probably not. It wouldn't really make a difference. It does tail off over the first week or two because sometimes you get people may click on your ad and then they go, oh, okay, I've seen Warren's Removals, decent company, but do you know what? I don't need to do it for a couple of weeks. But Google Ads was there, they clicked on that ad, so maybe they'll come back in a week or so and engage. It can have indirect effects like that. And again, even if someone doesn't click on your ad, it's brand visibility. So it definitely makes a difference. But if you're doing SEO and Google Ads at the same time, Google Ads will turbocharge your SEO process, definitely.
Nice.
100%.
Good answer.
Yeah, I'm on it today.
You are. You're doing really well.
15 coffees.
Do you work on any meta?
I've got to stop you there. There, guys. It's 30 minutes into the poddy. And we've come up with a new game.
A new little section.
It's an interesting story or a quote or maybe a fact. So I'll put the little. There we go. That's a new jingle. So in this section, we're each gonna tell a little facts, little quote, or a story that we've heard within the last month or year or even.
Nice. Who's going first? Should we start with Dom?
Start with Dom.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I'll give you an interesting sort of like fact or a bit of a strange one. Removals Plus would have probably never came to be if I didn't dislocate my knee.
That's good.
No, seriously. Yeah. So
there's blessings in everything, isn't there?
Genuinely, yeah. If I didn't dislocate my knee, I would have never met Dan and Ollie. I would have never got together with them and pushed into the moving industry. I would have probably just coasted with gyms and gone traveling.
Yeah.
So the sort of backstory to it is, at the end of, what would it be? So 2023, the late end of that, I was booked to go to Thailand for like 6 weeks, and I was then going to stay out in the Philippines, do all that traveling stuff on that side of the world. I was training to do Muay Thai, so I was going to go into Thailand for 6 weeks, stay in a Muay Thai training camp. I was happy with like the amount of gym clients I had back then. Things were fine, so I was like, okay, I know when I get to Thailand, it's cheap, right? It's cheap out there, so I can just coast by with the gyms I got. I can go traveling for a couple of years. When I was training, a week before I was supposed to go, I went to throw a kick, and I didn't twist my foot, so I dislocated my knee. My knee pops out the side, and because of that, I had to cancel the trip. And then it was a few weeks after that I started speaking to Dan in the gym, and then that's when we came together and decided to create a marketing firm in the industry, and then later on from that, we built that relationship and created Removals Plus. So didn't dislocate my knee.
It's a really good story.
Yeah.
Removals Plus when I've come to be.
But I don't know if I believe that, because like say if the flight would have been delayed, that could have been it. You know what I mean? Or say if you never walked into the gym that day, that couldn't be it.
No, yeah, I mean, but that's just life, isn't it? That's just life.
I can understand if it dislocated your knee and he saved you. You know what I mean? But if it was 3 months after and you went to the gym, no, I'm not having that, Don.
No, it was like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks.
I'm only joking. Go on, Mike, you go.
Mine, okay, cool. I've got a fact as well. My fact is
you only had one, mate.
a business fact.
Go on.
Obviously, we're talking about removals, and removals companies need vehicles. So who is the biggest manufacturer of tyres in the world? Tyres.
Abigail, what do you think?
Worldwide.
I don't want to embarrass myself and get the name wrong. Tyres.
Tyres.
I'll tell you what, I know this one.
It's a fascinating fact.
I know
it's
it.
fascinating.
Right there. It is.
You got to really think outside the box as well.
It's a toy company.
You guess. You guess. You guess.
It is. It's who is it?
Think a tyre brands.
Amazon.
It's not Amazon.
No.
Your guess is done.
Oh God, I only know tyre brands from watching
what it
F1. I don't know. I'm going to say like.
I'll go Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, that is ridiculous, man.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
They manufacture the most tyres in the world. I didn't say toys or actual.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough.
Good one. I like that one.
I was going to say Michelin, so I was a bit off.
That's what I was going to say, Michelin, but I thought I was going to say like Mitsubishi or something. I don't want to get it wrong. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, so I was listening to a podcast the other day, and there was a little story on there, which I thought was quite good. Little short story. A guy called, I'll probably butcher his name, but he was Federico Lamborghini, his name was.
Federico Lamborghini.
Federico Lamborghini. And he actually started out, he had a big tractor manufacturing company. So the big tractor manufacturing company, and he was really into supercars. So he used to love supercars. His favourite supercar was Ferrari. But when he used to drive the Ferrari, he knew the owner, Enzo Ferrari, and he used to say the clutches ain't the best on these supercars. And then, anyway, Enzo at Ferrari basically said to him, stick to making tractors. And then the rest was history, basically. He Mr. Lamborghini, created a Lamborghini supercar, and they become the biggest competitor against Ferrari.
Really?
And just because he said stick to tractors, little fire in his belly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a film on that, isn't there?
Be careful who you... I've never seen it if there is. Is there?
There is?
You know what? He's obviously done so well with Lamborghini that I found out years and years after that they also do tractors.
Yeah.
So obviously tractors came first, then the supercar.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I only found out that he does tractors through Jeremy Clarkson because he's got a Lamborghini tractor. So
I've never seen a Lamborghini tractor.
We're throwing facts out left, right, and
Jesus.
What a podcast this has become. 2 weeks and he met someone that did last year. He's
There
you go.
Lego and Lamborghini, he's flying.
I'm sure there's a film on that or something.
It might be, I'm not sure.
But I don't know.
I just heard it and someone said it on the podcast, so...
I've just seen like chopped up clips of it on like TikTok or something like that. Yeah.
We're probably going to chop up this clip and pop it on social media.
Yeah, we've all got
back to the poddy. Talking about social
media.
media. Do you do anything on Meta or not?
Yes. Well, yeah, I do. So I mainly focus. Well, it's interesting because I say I focus my energy on Instagram, but every time I post to Instagram, I've also got the option to turn on to post to Facebook as well.
Yeah.
One post covers 2 platforms. 100% have that option on.
Yeah.
It's the first thing. Yes, I do. So interestingly, I have managed to build Removals Plus that has only just got on Instagram now. We're going to start posting on it from Monday. But Dom Honey is actually the Instagram account that I've used to grow sort of like probably to 500 plus. Yeah, it's more like a personal brand almost. And I think it fits in well to the sort of way that we do things, as in, you know, we care about our clients, we look after them. Like all of our clients received like a little Removals Plus mug from us for Christmas. It's like those little things. We're always talking to them and stuff. Yeah. So, and I do get inquiries through Instagram now because I feel like people are they know what the company does. They've seen the results,
Yeah.
but they know me. They're
What
not
about
just,
your companies you're working for? Do you do anything on Meta for them?
no.
Nothing,
It's not really something we've touched on. We've looked at it and considered it. There's one company out there we've done a couple of bits and pieces for online.
Yeah.
They send us clips, we edit
Yeah.
it. But honestly, I think if you can just find like a decent, or just get yourself a few clips a day,
Yeah.
and just like I said, I was speaking to someone in the iMove group chat
Yeah.
about using CapCut, for example, to put them together. You can then do a voiceover and explain your day.
Yeah.
People want to see what it looks like to be on a house move. If I'm moving house in a few days, I am going to go and look on Instagram and TikTok and be like, house moving day experience.
Yeah.
If you can target a few people like that, it makes a difference, definitely.
Yeah, but there's a big argument, isn't there? What's best to put your money into, Meta or Google? But I actually think Google definitely for house moves.
Yeah.
Google Ads.
Not Meta.
Talk about ads here. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the main reason I believe in that is because when you don't just, I look at Facebook Meta ads as more of like impulse buy. You're scrolling through social media, you find an ad. When we advertise for gyms, I use Facebook ads because it's low cost. It's like £20-30 a month.
Yeah.
Impulse buy, that's not that much money.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're moving house, you don't impulse buy a removal company for no reason. Like, you will search moving companies. You will look for a moving company. So it's the place to be, honestly. Yeah.
No, you are right. It's more products and impulse, isn't it? T-shirts, trainers.
Yeah.
I bought a handheld portable Hoover for my car, which broke and have to have 2 days.
For them ads. You always get caught on them ads, don't you?
My new thing is I love washing my car. Like, in the summer, I look my weekends in my lawn. But obviously, the lawn stops growing. I need something else. So I've got a car wash hobby now.
Oh yeah,
and my algorithm knows this, and I've just recently bought some new snow foam.
You don't know that, yeah.
Look, I've got everything basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll bring my car.
I originally did it because I wanted to save money going to the car wash guys. But in fact, I've probably spent 5 times more.
You do. That's why.
Yeah. Algorithm's so strong like that, though, isn't it? It's frightening.
What about like yourself as a company, Removals Plus? Like, how good are you doing at Google? Are you up there? Because obviously you're in your own competition as well, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah. No. So with our site, again, the actual Removals Plus site has only been around for a few months, and we do focus on SEO on that side of things. But for us, it's more of a if and when. Our client's always going to come first.
Yeah.
So what we choose to do is a lot of the sales and stuff is more me putting energy into Instagram and Facebook. People seeing the results on there, that sort of stuff. Again, it's more, I don't know, I mean, you run a movie, so you can tell me, but if you were gonna find like someone to do your SEO or something like that, would you maybe go to a local moving company that you know and have a chat with them, see who they use, or would you actually search up SEO companies?
It's a recommendation business, yours is. It's definitely a recommendation business. It's not a search, I don't think.
No.
And I found this out recently as well, that website developers predominantly don't have websites themselves. You know,
they just get recommendations.
Yeah, because it's who you know. You know, you work on other people's, not your own.
They just have like examples, don't they?
Yeah.
Showcase ones.
That's it.
That's it.
This is what I've done. This is a client of mine, and
that's what we do. Yeah, with our site.
How many removal companies have you got on board then?
So at the moment we are, I think, somewhere between 20 and 25.
Nice.
And I mean, we've only really been pushing the boat with moving companies for, I say, a year. We rebranded to Removals Plus at the start of September. And it's been since, I think, honestly, at the start of September, we probably had maybe 4 or 5 moving companies. And now we're at about 20, 25. And damn, I mean, January, we've got like 10 to 15 more lined up, you know?
Congratulations, man.
It's, it's honestly, it's been awesome. And the rebrand has been the biggest thing.
Has it?
By a mile, yeah.
We met each other at the show, didn't we?
Exactly,
at the Movers and Storage show. And you're now working with a few clients, aren't you, of iMoves?
Yeah.
James at Lux, give him a shout out.
Yeah, shout out James. Awesome guy. Love you.
Converted him at the show, didn't we? Yeah, he showed in the magic.
The show did really well for us, didn't it?
We'll be there next year. Definitely at the stand, 100%. It's something we wanted to do this year, but like I said, we found out a bit late about it.
Yeah, and it's no good. We spoke about this off air as well. No good rushing into it. You got to go in properly.
Yeah, and it's the exact same with you guys. It's the exact same with us. Is, I like our companies. We're the future of the moving industry. We're the next step. We're in a few years' time, we're going to be the ones at the front. Yeah. So you want to make sure that every time you go to a show like this, you're not mediocre. You want to be blowing people away. Like, geez, this like your system, for example, like, damn, this is insane. Or like for us, it's like, Jesus, like the way you report and your analytics is unbelievable. I can see everything and it makes sense. Yeah. So that sort of stuff. So for us, it was get a stand last year and do it decently, or get a better stand in a better place this year coming, and absolutely nail it. Yeah. And that, I mean, like, we've already got systems in development for that show.
Amazing.
Good. What I loved about the show, about when like we'd have people walking past and we'd get them in and they wouldn't be interesting, but then when you showed them the system, then they'd all of a sudden they'd pay attention.
You wow them.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was the power of the show for me, because the people had walked past, but then when you showed them the system, there was like, wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they was interested.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, any vendors in the removal industry, I definitely recommend the Movers and Storage show. And I don't think, to be honest, they do a lot of marketing, like the Movers and Storage show. They don't they're not on socials. They don't put a few emails out.
See on LinkedIn
every now and again. And LinkedIn, I think they need to. I think iMove done more marketing for their product than they did themselves.
But honestly, that's probably it, isn't it? Is you get there and you want to promote the fact that you're going to be there. So that's probably their marketing strategy, is the fact that they've got, like, I mean, how many stands do they have?
I don't
20,
know,
30
quite
plus?
A lot. Yeah.
And if that's 20, 30 companies going, we're going to be at the Movers and Storage show this year, and you've all got hundreds of clients, and you're going to send out your emails to your clients, hey, come visit us, come meet us in person.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It ends up being the companies that pay for the stands there that actually draw in the people that come along to the show.
Yeah, but there was some great vendors there as well, to be fair. I enjoyed not just meeting the removal companies, but the third-party vendors.
Yeah, like yourself.
Yeah. Like yourself.
And also, people who want to come onto the podcast and just get to know people in it.
There's
networking, isn't it?
What I didn't know, there's a couple of recruitment companies actually in the removal industry. I think I took their details, and that AI lady, we're going to get them on as well. So it's not just, it's getting a variety of mix on the show, but where people can learn. Because obviously today you've taught myself a lot about like Google and how, and a bit Warren to implement it. Google. Hopefully you've got a sale today with Warren.
Yeah.
That's not convincing enough.
You've committed to me. What I'd like to know, and I know this is probably how long is a piece of string kind of answer, but people will probably be asking the same question. If I took you on today, what would you recommend to spend on Google Ads per month?
Okay.
Do you know that?
Yes. So we have like basically what we call like a foundation level of ad spend. This is like, we've used this ad spend for basically all the companies we work with. We know that it's not too high so that you're wasting money, but it's not too low that you're not getting any visibility. And that level is £750 a month.
Okay.
That's a good starting point. From there, we can then, again, your first month, get the work in, we see where you're at, we see how your competition's performing, because you can get all your competition analytics, you can see what the cost per click is in the area, you can work on that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then from there, we can go, okay, well, we think that actually you're absolutely dominating, you have really low competition. To be honest, you could probably back off your ad spend by like £200 a month and you'd still see similar to same result. Yeah. Or we can go, we think, and again, we've had companies do this, once they see the results, they know that actually a £250 ad spend increase from £750 to £1,000 a month, that may bring an extra £5,000 of work a month.
Of course,
And that's the difference.
So how long, because obviously, say if Bob Man and Van took you on and you said you spend 750 quid this, straight away. Yep. After month one, Bob's going to be a bit like, oh, fucking hell, I spent 750 quid here, and he might sack it off straight away. How long would you say you've got to stick at it? Is it 3 months, 6 months?
We and Dan always, business partner, always reiterates this to me to tell people is you are investing in data for 90 days. Yeah, so 3 months. So 3 months. But it's important to say that means that you're not going to spend 3 months worth and see nothing.
Of course. Yeah.
Like our aim is always make sure that you have break even / positive ROI even from month one straight off the bat. Because again, we've got experience. We hold ourselves to a high standard. We want to make sure we can do it. Yeah. And then month two, it's going to continue to get better. It's a snowball effect of Google Ads. It's data. From month 3, you have different like strategies, maximize clicks and maximize conversions. Maximize clicks is get as many people onto the site as possible. Sometimes that is the best option, period. But and other times, and where we see some of the best success is where you do maximize clicks for 3 months, and then Google's data algorithm is able to see which keywords, what times of the day, what copy converts best and gets you the leads.
Okay.
And then you go to a strategy called maximize conversions, and with that is what then only bids a little bit higher on the keywords and the times of day that convert most often.
Yeah.
And then it drops your cost per lead massively and really does have a positive effect. And the people that have been with us for over 3 months, they see this massively. It increases your conversion percentage.
Yeah.
So this is the number of clicks versus the number of people that actually fill out a form. Normally goes from somewhere between 10 to 20% in between the first month 1 to 3 onwards. You're looking at definitely 20% plus, sometimes 30. We even had a company across November and December have a 50% click conversion rate. So
that's good, isn't it? Yeah.
so basically 1 in every 2 clicks for that form.
Yeah.
Which is huge. Because they were getting good traffic as well. So they got like 60 plus leads across November.
Amazing. So effectively then, jump on board, be prepared to spend over £2,000 on Google Ads over 3 months, but don't worry, you're going to bring money in along the way. Yeah. And then it's just going to be a trajectory.
It's worth saying that for us, first of all, there's a couple of ways to mitigate that cost, because I'm not going to sit here and go, that's no money. And, everything's a risk.
Yeah.
It's about making calculated risks. So the things that we do to offset risk for moving companies, we don't tie you into any minimum terms. On any of the services we do, nothing's minimum term. Because after the first month, it may be going okay, but you may have had, maybe one of your vans is, packed up and it's just ruined, and now you've got to go and drop a load of money on a van, and you can't afford to do the Google anymore. That's fine. I'm not going to enforce a contract on you.
Yeah.
Second thing is Google, when you create a new ad account, Google always has, an introduction offer. The one that's best is you spend £1,200 of ad spend, and you get, Christmas offer was you spend £1,200 of ad spend, you get £1,200 free. Now it's you spend £1,200, you get £800 free. That's a month of ad spend right there.
Yeah, it's £2,000.
And then again, from our side, in terms of pricing, pricing's not fixed, it varies, but it's always lower cost for the first month. And we're never gonna, if the results are not at a level that we hold ourselves to, sometimes we may not even charge you at all, or we will reduce the cost to keep it on the reduced budget until we get your campaign to the level we want it to be. It's not like everything's sort of fair.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. So they win, you win. You win.
Yeah, exactly.
Win.
That's
the concept.
So you charge, when you charge $750, the $750 goes on the Google Ads.
Yeah. So the best way to do that is, let's take you for example. If we start doing Google Ads with you, I would recommend you hook your card up to the Google Ad account. It takes the money throughout the month instead of straight up, so it mitigates the cost a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And it also means that if you're over time, Google will then let you run to £500 spent on the account, and then it will charge you. If you could get a few jobs before you get that £500 charge, halfway or 2/3 through the month, you may have already mitigated the cost before you've paid the ad spend. Nice. It's just going to help you. Yeah. So that's always the best way to do it. Yeah. Definitely, just in terms of staying cash flow positive and stuff like that.
It's a really good industry that you've got into, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in it, but quite a lot of people don't know this, and in removals especially.
Yeah.
It's good to educate people.
Definitely, yeah. It's that's just where we saw the gap. There's companies out there that just do Google Ads. There's companies out there that just do postcards. There's companies out there that just do SEO. For a moving company, managing 3 different people doing different things, a lot of these companies don't report as well, and this sort of stuff. It makes it difficult to look after all your marketing things when you've got more people doing it. If you've got one place and one person to come to when you have an issue online, or one of your strategies you want to know more about, I'm right here, you call me anytime. Yeah. And it's just the best way forward. And it's reporting is actually one of the things that's at the forefront of what we do. Yeah. If you want to know what you're spending your money on, right? And even SEO reports, this is the reason that some people that claim to do SEO out there can get away with charging these moving companies between £2,000 and even £1,000 a month, I've heard, for 6 to 8 months. They never send one report. They never They just say, yep, it's getting there, it's getting there. You never see numbers, you never see anything on it. And that's where almost every single moving company I've spoken to has been burnt by an SEO company in the past.
So do you show the metrics? Do you say, this is how much good, how do you track the leads? How do you show the removal company, the removal owner who's put $2,000 a month in? How do you say, you've spent this and you've got this many leads?
Yep.
Can you do?
Yeah. All these stats, again, this is like super important. You want to know, first of all, you want to know, of course, even if you're running a Google ad campaign, you're still going to get organic leads. So we need to differentiate that. So what we do is we use Google Analytics. You can then set that up to track conversions. So people fill in a form, they press submit. You can then see the time, the date that someone submitted that form. And then from there, the data gets pulled to Google Analytics. And then in Google Analytics, it tells you how many leads you got on that day, which form they filled out, and then also their traffic source. So you know whether it came from a paid source, Google Ads, or as an organic source, SEO, for example, or just a recommendation or something like that. It allows us to differentiate. And with basically all of our clients, we have back-end access, so we can actually see the leads. With that, I can then create a document and tell them exactly which lead came from us, which lead didn't every single month. And it just allows you to calculate an exact ROI on our investment, which it's good for the moving company. Want to know what you're getting. And for us, it's case studies. We know we're going to get you a positive return on investment if we can showcase that.
That's brilliant. So you've got the ability to say then, Mrs. Smith used our Google ad and did she book with you?
Yep.
Yeah, she did £1,500. So
that's perfect.
Exactly.
Because you can see what the ROI is, can't you?
Exactly. That's it. That's the most important thing.
And for you as a company, you want that ROI to be more, because then they'll want to come back and spend more.
Positive feedback loop.
Yeah, I love it.
We only win if the moving company wins. So it's as simple as that, really. If they don't see the returns, then
you're selling me here, mate. You're selling me.
No, I'm sorry, mate. I'm just going to buy some ads. I've got a moving company. I'm just going to be top of Google. I think it's been great education on that. Hasn't it?
Really good.
Have you got a question for from Dom, from the last guest on the poddy? We always last guest always leaves a question for the next guest, and our last guest was Mr. Pask Removals.
26 WhatsApp messages. I'll just pull my phone out. 1 hour, 26 WhatsApp messages. That's my phone for you, okay?
Nice.
Right then, here we go. Josh Pask.
Please be nice, Josh.
What must service-based businesses do on the marketing front to keep up to date with all the various technological Cheers, Josh, mate. Thanks. Advancements we are currently seeing. Do you want me to read that again?
Yeah, read that again.
Go for it, yeah.
What must service-based businesses do on the marketing front to keep up to date with the various technological advancements we are currently seeing? So I think basically AI in it, GPT and all that kind of stuff.
Outsource it to someone that it's their full-time job. Simple as that. You are, if you're running any sort of service-based business, there's a lot of the time, especially maybe in the earlier years, or if you're a slightly smaller company, you are a turning piece in that company. You are working in the company, which means your focus is dedicated towards looking after your customer, making sure that things are good on that side of things. Outsource it to someone that it's their full-time gig to know about AI, know how to step up your SEO. We cover AI. We're always making sure we're constantly learning more about AI all the time. It's just we're always leveling up our services. As we learn that, which is our full-time thing to do, our clients are going to benefit from that, because we're then going to implement those services for them over time. So don't try and wear too many hats. One of my favorite sayings, I think I read it in a book somewhere, was, I saw it on Instagram, a CEO's job is to fire themselves from as many positions as possible. I think that's probably one of the best things. And for a long time, you are a turning cog in the business. When you're on top of the business and you're overviewing it more or less, you can maybe delve into a bit of AI, learn a bit yourself, but even then still, are you focusing your energy in the right place?
Stick to what you know. Let the experts.
Exactly. It's our full-time thing to know about this.
So ultimately, you're going to lose money elsewhere on stuff you should be doing.
Exactly.
If you try and do
It's just time optimization.
Because I think when starting out, a lot of removal owners, they do try and do it all themselves, because you've got to win a way, haven't you? So I've got one question actually regarding Google. Like your Squarespaces, your Wixes, if you've got a website with them, is that are you better off doing it a WordPress website, or are you better off? Does it affect anything?
No, not really.
For instance, the reason I ask, because at the minute, iMove, we've just created, we're going to launch this weekend, a builder within iMove that you can create fancy emails.
Nice,
so you've got a builder, and on that builder, eventually you'll also be able to create a landing page, which will integrate. You can, same way using the builder, you create a landing page. And I was just thinking, would that landing page be less likely to be top of Google because it's through iMove, or would Squarespace do the same?
No, it doesn't matter what platform you're using to build your pages. All that matters is what's on the page.
Okay,
is the front end of the page in terms of like the creative design and the copy on there, is it good? And then on the back end, have you tagged like the headers correctly? So does Google read? Basically, that's just how Google sees your page and what your page is explaining. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where you build it on. Of course, there's easier platforms to build it on and stuff like that. For us, I'd say probably 90% of our clients use WordPress.
Okay.
And then honestly, I've rarely come across Wix or anything like that. The most other common one we come across, which again is still quite rare, but is moving companies that use web companies to look after their site. And sometimes these web companies allow access, sometimes they don't, and they have their own builders, which are not the greatest. Like WordPress is super easy to use. I would say if you're looking at building a website yourself, I'd say there's always going to be more content and stuff on WordPress. But yeah, I still say Wix and stuff. And these websites use AI integration now, so you can almost tell it what you want your site to look like and just build it. Same with the landing pages. But yeah, it doesn't matter what backend it's on. It's just as long as it's
just a quick question on that AI thing. Are Google cottoning on to this and not ranking it? If you're using AI,
So the most common place that people use AI is blog writing. I mean, you can write a blog in like 2 seconds of AI.
You know what? I've never seen since ChatGPT. I've never seen pick up this use so many blogs in all my life.
One a day.
It's mental, isn't it?
Like literally, it is. But I understand it because it's so easy. But I'd say there's just some things where people. It's so obvious to see that it's AI. And again, Google can see that it's AI.
And even if because people just aren't that clever, are they?
Even if you edit it a bit, you can surely Google can still tell where you pulled that from.
Yeah, you can get away with it a bit more if you edit it. And I'd say definitely, I would say also make some changes. If, let's say using ChatGPT, for example, you say, write me a blog on, I don't know, how a packing service works for a moving company. It'll then give you a blog. Read the blog, ask for changes. I'd say do that about 4 or 5 times because it makes it more personalized to what you've asked for. Then take it, put it into a document, read through it again, and make it sound like you. You know, remove those. Maybe it's going to use like words that sound a little bit more advanced because it seems better. So I honestly, I use AI, but don't overuse AI. You need to know its limits.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, nice advice.
100%.
We're going to wrap it up now, mate. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that.
Before we do so, where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram, Dominic_honey23 or removalsplus.co.uk online. I'm member with like Move Assured, for example. I'm in your guys' WhatsApp chat, so just look for a guy called Dom, and you'll normally find the right guy. And like I said, I'm always happy to just have a call, see how you're doing, help out with any sort of things you got going on online. We're here to help you grow, not chain you down.
Amazing, mate. Yeah, and if anybody missed that or wants to get in touch with me, I'll pass you Dom's number because it'd be good to pass you guys business. So,
definitely appreciate that.
And thanks for education, mate. It's been
of course. It's good for people to know this sort of stuff. Definitely.
Honestly, thanks for coming.
I enjoyed it.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, mate. Good stuff.